Continuing. How do you develop trust which inspires teamwork? How do you prepare your mind so that you and your teammates can work synergetically to your maximum potential? You start by face-facing. You face-face your mind and the minds of your teammates. You face-face the situation you're in. You look at the level of maturity and the patterns of thought involved, and then you focus on the potentiality. And in doing so, you take the whole dynamic and trust through the 6 stages. What you find is that deep within the streams of thought of your mind are hidden orders within orders. You find that within these orders, all your holodynes align themselves to form ordered patterns of thought and potentiality traits. And you find that you can influence and control these patterns by your conscious focus and choice. Updrafting and downdrafting. In the chart entitled The 6 Stages of Development, which I'll show you them now, which I've showed, this is in the other book. You can let me see. Anyways, I hope you got it. Anyways, it's I have outlined a general face-facing review of typical thought patterns and the crucial choices which occur at each stages of development. Note that depending on crucial choices at each stage, the mind flows either upward towards order and well-being, updraft, or downward towards disorder and dysfunction, downdraft. At each stage, distinct mental patterns appear which act as subtle attractors and controllers within your streams of thought. Your mind is sensitized to a deep order of organization, the implicit order. Each experience stored as a holodyne gives off a resonating frequency which aligns that holodyne with others of similar and harmonized resonating frequencies. Frequencies, remember, create disease. Your mind is like a complex filing system. For example, all holodynes concerned with your physical well-being are filled or aligned within the first stages of your holodynamic plane. All holodynes concerned with your personal well-being, your personal growth, your emotions, and your self-esteem are filled or aligned within the second stage. This alignment occurs at each of the 6 stages and beliefs outlined in the chart. Some mental patterns tend to unfold more of your potential, others tend to construct it. The tendency to progress or retrogress, depending on your updraft or downdraft choice, was unique at each stage of development. This proved to be particularly clear in therapy. Whether someone solved a problem or remained hopelessly cycling in its pattern depended upon certain subtle but crucial choices. These crucial choices determine at each stage of your development whether you shift into updraft or fulfill your potential, or into downdraft and expand your energies in endless cycles. The downdraft choice automatically shifts your mind into an immature holodyne, activating a negative mode of thinking. This brings about the negative consequences that naturally follow such thinking. With an updraft choice, exactly the opposite occurs. The holodynes you choose, whether mature or immature, determine whether you will handle things maturely or immaturely, whether you will attract positive or negative experiences. No matter which you choose, updraft or downdraft, you can learn from the consequences of your choice. The lessons of life are laid out for you by the holodynes you choose. It is all part of the implicit order. You will continue experiencing downdrafting until you learn your lessons and choose to shift into updraft. Now, stage 1 is physical well-being. To live means you would have vitality, abundance, health, strength, energy. To downdraft would be to live in deprivation, a dingbat role, disease, zero power, shutdown, and physical disorder. Personal well-being. Updrafting would be creativity, confidence, self-assertion, I am okay, self-discovery. Downdrafting would be denial, fear, anger, insecurity, self-defeating. So if you feel anger, if you're in fear, if you feel insecure, you feel hopeless, you're taking a downdrafting experience, and you'll create yourself personal disorder. Interpersonal well-being is intimacy, friendship, we are okay, mature respect, and rapport. That ain't happening within our government systems. To downdraft is disconnected, manipulator, match my image, pleaser, victim. So you're either going to be the controller or you're going to be the victim of something. You're going to manipulate, and you'll cause interpersonal disorders, which is why your court systems, your corporate systems, CEOs aren't really listening to the bottom, and it's creating an interpersonal disorder, which is why we're destroying the freaking planet. Social well-being. To updraft is synergy, teamwork, open trust, camaraderie, cooperation. To downdraft is conformist, the should, rule-bound, role-bound, the judger. So as soon as you become the judger, you're downdrafting and you cause social disorder. That's why our justice systems can't work, because there's a judger there, and that judge is creating social disorder and doesn't even know it. Principled well-being. To updraft is to have integrity. I am, owning it, fair care, share, openness. To downdraft is rationalizer, pretentious, hypocrite, unethical, unscrupulous, and you create principled disorders. Universal well-being. To updraft is to know that you're a oneness, a knowing, empowering, loving, attuned. To downdraft is to detach. That's why, if you're rich and you can't see your connection to poverty, you've detached yourself. If you're living in poverty and can't see your connection to wealthy people, you've detached yourself. You're remote, aggrandized, obsessed, tyrannical. So if you've got an obsessive disorder, if you're an obsessive thinker, you will create a universal disorder. So just control the thoughts in your mind. Immature holodynes activate a negative mode of thinking. This brings about the negative consequences that naturally follow such thinking. With an updrafting choice, exactly the opposite occurs. The holodynes you choose, whether mature or immature, determine whether you will handle things maturely or immaturely, whether you will attract positive or negative experiences. No matter which you choose, updraft or downdraft, you can learn from your consequences of your choice. I've read all that. To choose downdrafting holodynes at your stage is to lock into thinking that blocks growth and begins a cycle back to more primitive thinking. To choose an updraft holodyne is to choose growth, to progress toward personal fulfillment and the unfolding of your full potential self. The choice between an updraft and downdraft holodyne may be very subtle, but the results are powerful. Once you have chosen a downdraft holodyne, you may find it difficult to shift into an updraft one. Once you become locked into an empowered, immature holodyne, you must use your ISP, your intuition, to access that holodyne. Learn the specific choice or choices which invited its downdraft thinking, and make a conscious effort to mature it into an updraft holodyne. No permanent change will occur in a primitive holodyne. It will maintain its negative causal potency until it allows to grow through the natural stages of its own development. It makes no difference if you think of other things. Sublimate, affirm, or meditate. A primitive holodyne remains in power until it's matured. So you can, that's why this intention experiment will never ever work. And I was involved in that website, and I could see these, people that wanted to create peace, and they wanted people that knew how to meditate. And if you don't know how to mature your belief systems, then you're going to meditate. You're going to go more deeper into your mind and create heavier anchors by meditating. And then you take, because you want peace, that's because you've got a war mentality going on that you don't like, and you're not taking personal responsibility, and you're meditating on that war mentality, and then you focus that intention, your thoughts, in a direct area, and that's why war generally escalates when they do something like that. You need to actually heal the people that are meditating, that are involved in it, so that you can actually create what's the desired effect of that. But we very much all act like HARP. We all have that same technology going on within each other, but you have to get yourself right in order for it to work. Otherwise, what we're all doing is creating war with our intentions, and we can't see it coming. The crucial updraft, downdraft choices differ from one stage to another, according to the implicit order of our creative intelligence. And remember, just as each of our thoughts reflect both the wave and the particle aspects of a reality, so each of our choices are both rational particle and intuitive wave aspects. Listed below are the crucial choices at each stage of development and some of these holodynamics which surround these choices. Stage 1. At the physical level, the choice is to live or not to live. When you choose to live, you invest your life energy in a specific potential and thus manifest this potential in a particle reality. When you choose not to live, you remove your life energy back into wave reality, so that that physical manifestation is no longer possible. This occurs whenever you choose not to support a given thought, person, or cause. When, for example, you decide to withdraw from a relationship, you withdraw your life energy from that relationship, and the relationship can no longer exist. Choosing not to live is always downdraft because you are no longer responsible. You cop out. This or course does not mean you must never say no to anyone or anything. No can be an updraft decision. Turning down something can be a mature choice to turn towards something else. When, for example, you turn down abuse, you turn towards a more mature way of relating. When you choose to overcome your addictions and to take charge of your life, that is definitely an updraft choice. Each time you face some challenge, each time you come to a fork in the road, there is a part of your mind which asks, do I really want this? At a deep level, your mind considers the alternatives, and then you choose to updraft or downdraft. The ability to choose is what makes us intelligent beings. Your body, your personality, your relationships, the organization to which you belong, and the principles by which you live continue to exist because you have decided to give them your life energy. All of us have been choosing the kind of world we want for as long as that process has largely become subconscious. From a quantum perspective, we have been creating our physical universe by choices about physical well-being. And see, the mind model is all broken up into different pieces of the mind. Kind of complicated. Stage 2. Oh, I'm running out of time on this tape. May as well just start a new one. Love, love, love anybody that's hanging into this book. I personally would buy it. I prefer the creator of it get the credit for all of this, Dr. Vernon Wolf at holodynamics.com. I'm pretty sure you can get one of these books for ebooks for $10. It is cheap. Not one of these books will give you the whole complete picture of how all of this is done. That's why I'm reading all of his books. When he teaches this stuff, I've got the courses, and all of these books are involved in the course. That's why I'm reading so many books. Peace out.